So now I'd like to talk just a little bit about what issues David and Angela faced personally. And this is sort of moving outside my sphere of expertise a little bit, but I'm going to do it because it's relevant and because we see it every day. I think one of the core skills that people in my profession lack, it's not empathy, but it's the ability to understand and recognise other issues and other problems. We tend to be a bit linear in our approach. So here's a financial problem, here's a financial solution, thank you very much, sign this piece of paper and off you go. What we don't do is we don't touch on you're going to have this area in the middle of the dollars, and then you've got this periphery round the outside of all of these other things that need just as much attention as the dollars. And sometimes fixing the dollars isn't the problem. It's fixing this and the dollars take care of themselves. So we've touched on some of the business needs, but what do David and Angela need out of this?
Support.
Yeah, they need help. One, they need help. And this is where this quote comes in. You can't know everything about what you're doing. And Donald Trump should know. He is probably one of the world's biggest egotists, and yet he came up with this. He said, you can never know everything. And if you're not learning, then you might as well not be doing what you're doing. There's simply no way to acquire all of the skills that you need to run the business that you're in. It's not possible. You need to go and do an accounting degree, you need to do a law degree, you need to do some training in marketing and human relations and human resources and finance and looking at capital markets, and because all of that feeds into what you do. So you need help. And what's the biggest impediment to people getting help?
Asking for money.
Sorry?
Asking for work.
Uh-huh.
Ego.
That's the symptom. What's the cause?
Oh, it can be costing.
Cost? What's the cause?
Money.
Money?
Not
Also-
ego, not knowing is
Somebody just said it.
Right.
ego.
Bang. Pride. It's the number one cause why people don't ask for help, is that they've got ego or pride, because they know everything. They are the exact opposite of the person that Donald Trump talks about in that slide. They've been doing this for years. They know everything there is to know about that particular industry. They've been doing it since I was in nappies. They're the expert. They're the market leader. Okay? If you're not innovating, you're stagnating, and if you're stagnating, sooner or later moss grows on you and then you're dead. So pride is the one thing that will stop people who need it from getting help. It's not cost, because the people who put this aside and understand that they need this also understand that that is an investment in their business, that help is an investment in their business, and that their pride will be an active impediment to them getting the help that they need. Some people actually make it to here. This is the leading the horse to water analogy. You get them to the point where you're sitting down in front of them and you're talking to them and saying, okay, I've looked at this is what you need. And then this stops them from acting on it. So they need help. And again, they need a plan. And that feeds into there. So they need the help to construct the plan. And as part of this help, they need support and they need time. Because none of the things that they need can happen tomorrow, and none of the things that they need are going to happen with just them driving it. They need this layer of not so much cotton wool, but they need to understand that someone's got their back. somebody's there who's going to help and assist them and guide them through this myriad of problems that they potentially face. They need that support, and they need somebody to buy them some time. And you'll be surprised how easy that is, and how much of a factor time plays in the criticality of some of these important decisions. So let's look at the case study again, and let's pick up on what's real and what's not real. So at the moment, the company's got this contract from the German company, and there's reports in the media about what the plans of the German company are, and there's the communication from the German company is late. Right. So David has a problem there. Obviously he's got a problem. Yes or no? How many people think David's definitely got a problem? How many people are going to call it on that now? Yep. So he's got a problem right now. If you were advising David, would you be saying you've got a problem? Yeah? Show of hands. How many people think it's too early to say? Yeah, I reckon I'm in your camp. I reckon there's some information there. What you've got a set of circumstantial facts which point to a conclusion, and people are very quick to make assumptions about things.
Well, I think that's the reason he's got a problem. He needs to research it. He needs to check the contract, see whether there's any clauses in there. He needs to communicate with the provider in Germany. But I think he's definitely got a problem because it's affecting his customer base.
That's the problem that he needs to deal with. It's not so much the relationship problem that he has with the head contractor or the licensor. It's what the effect of that lack of information does. And you see it everywhere. You see it in financial markets all the time. People fill information gaps with assumptions. And it's one of the most dangerous things that you can do in a business, is to assume the rest. Okay? Somebody once said, if you can't define it in numbers, it's opinion and not fact. Now, that might be a very extreme view, but you need to get the facts. It's like, my name's Wednesday, I work out a homicide. I'm just after the facts, man, just the facts. That's what you need, is just the facts. So put all of the hearsay and the scuttlebutt and so on to one side. Get the facts and communicate those facts. So that's one of the issues of real versus not real, and perceptions versus reality. And if David takes the step of assuming that there's a problem and leaping into defence mode with his existing contracts, he fuels that problem. He doesn't resolve it. He basically validates the position for his clients, at which point they're looking for an exit as well. So by not doing the research, he's actually fanning the fire rather than doing things to put it out.